Our top stories this week. The Annie E. Casey Foundation released a report on the state saying that too many U.S. children are not living with families, with Colorado taking the prize for the highest percentage of foster kids living in group homes and institutional settings. South Carolina isn't faring much better, with 23% of their foster kids living in group homes, while one young couple claims that it's nearly impossible to become licensed foster care providers in the state. And the U.S. Congress is considering cutting federal funding to group homes after a renewed call to deal with the violence and neglect that plagues foster kids in a group care setting. The Learning Channel pulls the plug on the hit reality show 19 Kids and Counting after it is revealed that one of the kids, named Josh, molested his sisters and another girl when he was 14, leaving us to wonder why CPS never stepped in to protect the kids. In California, the estimated cost to protect the state's foster kids from the excessive use of psychotropic drugs is tipping $22 million. California's child welfare advocates and media lobbyists are accusing the child protective industry of wanting to hide the details about foster child deaths to the public after a bill to seal death records is proposed. And in Manitoba, Canada, the child protective industry is being warned to follow a ban on the use of hotels for warehousing foster children, or there will be a government takeover of the agency. 5 former CPS agents from Arizona had their wrongful termination lawsuit tossed out by a judge after they were fired for labeling calls to the child abuse hotline as not worth investigating. And in Massachusetts, they're taking so many kids these days that it's creating a lawyer shortage and flooding the courts. In Australia, the real parents of a 22-month-old boy who drowned in a swimming pool while in temporary foster care are demanding answers and called for increased scrutiny of the foster care system. And in Louisiana, a 2-year-old child died after being beaten by her foster mother. A CPS agent supervisor from Florida was busted for falsifying records in order to improve statistics. In Las Vegas, Nevada, a former CPS supervisor is facing child abuse charges. In Florida, a couple from Alabama who was on vacation was arrested for refusing to get their sunburnt foster kids out of the sun. And an Oklahoma City police officer is accused of abusing his 7-month-old foster child, who now has a shaken baby-style brain injury. In Rhode Island, a sexual assault at a child protective industry residential treatment facility is being investigated. In Utah, a woman is being accused of sexually abusing 5 boys at a boys' home. In Washington, the child protective industry will have to pay $1.75 million to be put into a trust for a boy who was molested by his foster father. A group of former foster kids from Santa Rosa, California is suing a children's home for abuse that they suffered dating back 20 years. In Florida, a mother is found and her baby was snatched after they took off to try to protect the child from CPS agents. In New York, 2 sisters who were adopted into separate families just happened to meet by chance at a Columbia University writing class. In England, a men's-only divorce law firm opens to help divorced fathers who can't see their kids. And finally, tonight, 261 public figures, including 76 British politicians, are caught up in a massive child sex abuse probe. For these stories and all the latest dirt on the child protective industry, visit www.legallykidnapped.com. And until next week, this is Baby LK, over and out.